Hey guys, it's Adam coming to you from China. I got another video for you. This one we were to pick a law and talk about it and how it relates to education. So the law I've chosen is called the Law on the Protection of Disabled Persons. It was passed in 1990. And there's a lot to it, but specifically Chapter 3 deals with education. And so I'm only going to cover just a couple of the sections in it a little bit because there's a lot to it, but Section 18 deals with the responsibilities. So the state shall guarantee the right of disabled persons to education, basically meaning that they cannot be excluded for any reason. There are some provisions as long as the child can adapt themselves to life at school and they're physically capable of doing it, they cannot be turned away. So that's very cool. Section 19 deals with the education according to different characteristics. So there's a couple different verses or subsections of this. Particularly I found sections 2 and 3 interesting. So Section 2 is to adapt ordinary or special methods of education according to different categories of disability and varied abilities of response of the disabled persons. So basically, if they adapt however they have to teach the child, they're allowed to do so in the classroom, just to make sure that they can do it. Section 3, the curricula, teaching materials, and methods may be determined with appropriate flexibility. So this is very cool. It's not a hard and fast, rigid kind of rule. And there's a lot more to it, but basically Section 23, the methods of special education, that special schools at or below all the different levels, there's a lot to it, but they shall be responsible for providing cultural education at or above the level that they're at, as well as the basic education, because cultural education is big in China. So it's pretty cool that it sounds like they've taken steps to make sure that everybody is getting, what they need in order to, effectively teach, and they're kind of trying to set some rules. Section 25 is for teaching staff, and part of this that kind of jumped out at me was it says that teachers of special education and sign language interpreters shall enjoy allowances for special education. So it sounds like they're offering some kind of incentives and things like that to try to get, more people certified or learning these skills in order to effectively teach better. So how is this relevant? One thing that, again, being China, and they have this whole concept of, always not losing face, which is basically looking bad. So we have had kids in some of my classrooms that just, are obviously they're struggling with some sort of disability, and the parents will swear and fight up and down, no, they're just fine, no, there's nothing, they don't need to go to any sort of, psychologist or anything to be looked at. It's, they're fine. And so, sometimes it just about drives you crazy trying to deal with this. I remember, I had my first year, so this is a little bit more personal, but my first year here, I had a very autistic boy that was in my classroom. And neither myself or my co-teacher, neither one of us are certified for special needs or anything like that. So a lot of the education a lot of the things that I had to learn, I had to teach myself. I had to go online and look up stuff, and I actually tried out a virtual reality game called the Autism Simulator. And so it puts you into what it's like to have autism, and it's, it kind of opens your mind a little bit. So anyway, there you have it. That's my video on the law and kind of how it relates to the classroom, as well as culturally. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you in class. Take care.